Get ready! Today, I've brought you the spine-chilling explanation of an incredible cannibal horror movie. Let's begin the terrifying journey. At the beginning of the story, we see that trees in the Amazon jungle are being cut down, destroying the entire forest. As a result, the homes of the local tribal people living there are also being destroyed. Then, at a university in America, we meet a girl named Justine, who is there with her roommate. The two of them go to attend class. In class, their teacher tells them that there are tribal groups in many parts of the world, especially in Africa, that still practice horrible and cruel customs on girls. Justine is shocked to hear this and feels scared inside. After class, when Justine is alone, a boy comes up to her and says, "Alexander asked me to give you this pamphlet and invited you to a meeting." In fact, there is a group in their college that travels to different parts of the world to work on protecting the environment. The leader of this group, Alejandro, is charismatic, a very influential activist who is always busy with some mission. Justine herself is also interested in social service work, so she decides to go to the meeting called by Alejandro that evening. At the meeting, Alejandro tells everyone, "We are planning to go to the Amazon jungle to save a local tribal group. A multinational company is cutting down the forest while searching for petroleum underground, which is threatening the lives of the tribal people." He also says that the company is hiring retired soldiers to assist with the operation. "But we have to stop them," he adds. "We want to expose these incidents to the world and draw attention from the international media so that everyone will raise their voices against the company. That way, we can force the company to pull out of the area." Justine is deeply impressed by the mission and decides to go with them. The others also agree with the plan. The next day, Justine speaks to her father on the phone. He is a lawyer at the United Nations. Justine lies to him, saying she is going on a trip with her friends. Then Justine and the others arrive at a place where they meet a friend of Alejandro's who is funding the entire trip. They board a private plane and depart. After landing, they take a rickshaw to a hotel, where they eat and rest for a while. Then they set off toward the jungle by boat. After reaching the jungle, they all put on matching uniforms and arrive at the company's construction site. There, they chain themselves to trees and bulldozers, wearing masks on their faces. Then, everyone takes out their mobile phones and begins recording videos and protesting. They have one purpose: to live stream these events so the public can see the terrible things the company is doing. At this moment, a private military force arrives and tries to remove them, but the protesters have locked themselves with chains, making it difficult for the military to untie them. However, Justine's chain lock was broken, leaving her vulnerable. A military man catches her, points a gun at her head, and threatens to kill her. Terrified, Justine starts crying and pleads with Alejandro for help. But Alejandro and the others are too busy recording videos. Alejandro then shockingly says, "Kill her. Her father works for the United Nations." Justine is horrified to hear this. At this moment, the group's live stream goes viral and media pressure begins to rise. As a result, the military is forced to release them and the company has to stop its operation. The police arrive soon after, scaring everyone in the group. However, one of Justine's friends pays the police to let them go. Then they board their private plane and prepare to return home. Everyone is happy inside the plane. Alejandro says their video has gone viral and now everyone is talking about them. Everyone is excited except Justine, who feels deeply sad inside because she realizes these people only used her to protect them. Just then, the plane's engine suddenly starts malfunctioning. The pilots lose control and the aircraft heads toward a crash landing. Everyone screams in fear. A part of the plane breaks apart and 2 people fall out. Within moments, the plane crashes into a tree and is wrecked deep in the forest. 2 pilots die in the crash. One of Alejandro's friends also dies, along with several others. Some people are severely injured. The survivors start crying and try to escape from the wreckage. Outside, bodies and blood are scattered everywhere. Just then, the plane explodes and is completely destroyed. Justine, Alejandro, and a few others survive, but they are terrified. They have no idea what to do or where to go. There is no phone signal. One of the survivors, a boy, tries to find his GPS device so he can contact the outside world. Suddenly, a strange sound comes from the forest. Alejandro's girlfriend hears the sound and goes to check. An arrow hits her and she falls to the ground. Alejandro, panicked, tries to pull the arrow out of her throat, but another arrow strikes him in the head and he dies instantly. These attackers are tribal people, the jungle tribe who see outsiders as enemies. The rest of the group panics and tries to run, but the tribals shoot arrows at them one by one, knocking them unconscious. One boy survives and manages to find his GPS, but he too is struck by an arrow and rendered unconscious. Then the tribal people take all of them by boat to their village. These tribals are the original inhabitants of the Amazon jungle. Their bodies are painted red, making them look very frightening. They surrounded Justine's group and began to lead them toward their leader. Then they started pulling out strands of their own hair, which terrified everyone. The group begged to be released, but no one listened. Soon, they saw some hanging bodies and realized that this was a cannibal tribe, people who eat other people. At that moment, a female leader of the tribe appeared, her body painted in yellow. Seeing her, the other tribespeople stopped harassing the group. She observed Justine's group carefully and spoke to the others in her native language. Then she ordered that everyone be locked inside a cage. Alejandro had a phone, but since there was no network in the jungle, no one could call for help. They then noticed that one of their group members was missing from the cage. Looking outside, they saw the tribals taking him somewhere. The female leader was touching his face and giving him some kind of liquid. Then he was laid on a rock and opened his eyes. He looked at the others, and everyone became happy to see this. Then a male leader of the tribe appeared and cut off the friend's hands, feet, and head. Seeing this terrifying scene, everyone inside the cage started trembling and covered their eyes. Later, the women of the tribe cooked the body, and the tribesmen began eating his flesh. Witnessing this horrific event, Alejandro and his companions were so frightened that one of the girls vomited. The tribe's children laughed at her. That night, everyone in the cage started talking among themselves. If we hadn't come to stop that company, maybe we wouldn't be in this danger today, someone said. Then Alejandro admitted that he and his friend, who had funded the trip, had brought everyone there just for money. A rival company had paid them to sabotage the previous company. Alejandro said, "I got money and fame both." He added that the second company would arrive in the jungle within 2 or 3 days. Everyone now understood that Alejandro was a selfish man who had betrayed them for his own gain. He further said, "I only brought Justine here because her father works for the United Nations. If anything went wrong, he could have saved us." Hearing this, everyone became furious with Alejandro. The next day, Justine saw a girl standing in front of her. Justine played a melody on her necklace flute. At that moment, the male tribal leader arrived and took 3 girls from the cage, placing them in front of the female leader. The woman inserted something into their private parts to determine who was a virgin. They discovered that Justine had never been in a relationship. So the other 2 girls were sent back to the cage, and Justine was taken to a small shack. The people in the cage said, "We can't die like this. We have to do something." But no one could escape because the tribal guards were watching them closely. Then one of the boys had an idea. He played the ringtone on Alejandro's phone and threw it away. Hearing the sound, a guard went to check, and during that distraction, a girl managed to escape from the cage with her friend's help. After some time, the tribals brought Justine back to the cage. Her face and body were covered in strange colored markings. She didn't remember anything because she had been unconscious. Then the tribe brought food. When one of the girls looked into her bowl after eating, she noticed a piece of human skin with a tattoo on it. Recognizing the tattoo, she realized it belonged to her girlfriend who had tried to escape earlier. But the tribe had captured and killed her, and now they were eating her. Realizing this, the girl became so devastated that she broke her food bowl and took a sharp piece to slit her own throat, committing suicide. The tribe then came to take her body to eat. One of the boys shoved some weed into the girl's mouth so that when the tribe's people ate her, they would become intoxicated. Later, the tribe took the girl's body, cooked, and ate her. After eating, many of them became heavily intoxicated. Some fainted and others felt dizzy. Taking advantage of this, Justine and Daniel escaped from the cage. But Alejandro knocked one of his teammates unconscious with a dart, thinking that if they all tried to escape together, the tribe might catch them and kill everyone. Alejandro hoped that the new company coming to cut down the forest would arrive and rescue him. So he wanted the tribe to eat his teammate first to buy himself more time. Justine and the boy left Alejandro and ran away. Meanwhile, when the unconscious boy regained consciousness, he found two tribal men sitting next to him, laughing. Thinking they were drunk, he tried to talk his way out and escape. But suddenly, he saw that they had already cut off one of his hands and had started eating it. Horrified, he tried to escape, but the tribals surrounded him and began eating him alive in their intoxicated state. Meanwhile, Justine and the boy reached the riverbank. They saw smoke rising from the crashed plane in the distance and began walking toward it. Suddenly, Justine accidentally slipped into the river and began to float away. But she managed to grab onto a rock and the boy pulled her out using a tree branch. They continued walking at night until they reached the crash site. There, they saw the bodies of their dead friends hanging from trees, something the tribe had done. Justine heard a phone ringing from the pocket of one of the dead bodies. They went closer and retrieved the mobile phone. Just then, the tribespeople arrived and beat them unconscious. The next morning, when Justine regained consciousness, she found herself being prepared for a ritual. Her companion was tied to a pole and being brutally beaten. His hands and feet were being crushed. The tribespeople applied a kind of mixture to his clothes that attracted poisonous ants which bit him all over. He screamed in agony. Then the female leader came to perform a ritual involving Justine's private parts. But at that moment, a tribal man arrived and informed them that people had come to cut down the forest. Upon hearing this, the entire tribe took up weapons and went to confront them. A few tribal children remained behind to watch Alejandro. At this point, the little girl to whom Justine had played the flute came and untied her. Justine ran to her friend who was tied to the pole, writhing in pain from the ant bites. He begged Justine to kill her as he couldn't bear the pain any longer. Then the little girl knocked him unconscious and killed him mercifully with a knife. Justine then ran away with the girl. Meanwhile, Alejandro started begging Justine to save her, but she didn't listen. She and the little girl escaped. The girl showed Justine the way out of the forest. To thank her, Justine gave her the flute locket as a gift. Just then, another tribal girl came to capture Justine, accompanied her father. But on the path where Justine was escaping, a fearsome Jaglion appeared, a creature said to be born from the union of a jaguar and a lioness. Because of this, the tribal people were too afraid to follow Justine, believing the Jaglion would kill them if they did, so they turned back. There was no other way forward for Justine, so she had no choice but to move in that direction. Luckily, the Jaglion had already met her earlier and recognized her, so it didn't attack. Eventually, she reached a place where army soldiers were shooting at and killing the tribal people. Seeing this, Justine raised her hands and shouted, "I'm American," and pretended to take a video with her phone. She told them she was a survivor and begged them to rescue her. The soldiers stopped and called a helicopter, which took Justine away. The pilot asked her, "Is there anyone else here besides you?" This time, Justine didn't lie, and she returned home by helicopter. A few days later, government officials interrogated her. Justine told them that all her friends had died in the plane crash and that she alone had somehow survived. She also claimed that some tribal people took care of her and did not harm her. In truth, Justine was lying, because if she revealed that the tribe practiced cannibalism, the government would wipe them out and destroy the entire Amazon forest. Later, Justine received a call from Alejandro's sister. A satellite image showed that Alejandro was still alive in the jungle, his entire body painted black, suggesting that he may have become one of the tribesmen. And with that, the movie ends. Thanks for watching this recap. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to comment below and let me know what movie or series you want me to recap next.